Welcome to 7.2. Now we're going to solve inequalities. So let's start with solving equations. So we're distributing a negative there. So we're getting negative 10x, negative 2 times negative 12 plus 24 equals negative 14x. We're going to get the x's on one side. Now, I'm always getting rid of them where there are fewer x's, when negative 14 is smaller than negative 10. So I'm going to add 14x to both sides, and you get 4x plus 24 equals 0, right? Minus 24 to both sides, two-step equation. 4x equals negative 24, divide by 4, and x equals negative 6 is our solution. Let's remind everyone about yesterday. That's x is less than negative 4. So 1, 2, 3, negative 4, not equal to negative 4, open circle, and all the numbers that are less than negative 4. X is greater than or equal to 3. 1, 2, 3. Now it can equal 3, so we're closing in that circle, and the number is greater than 3 or that way. So when we solve an inequality, there's not just one number that makes it true. 3 makes that true because 3 plus 2 equals 5. But so does every number that's bigger than 3 also makes that true. So you do the same exact techniques we did with equations as long as you keep this symbol exactly the same. So we're going to combine like terms here and get 2x. We still have plus 4. We're going to bring this straight down. We're not going to mess with it. Now I got a two-step equation. We're going to subtract 4 from both sides. 2x is less than or equal to 8. Divide both sides by 2. And x is less than or equal to 4, not equal to 4. You just bring this symbol down the way it is. All right, so we have 4x plus 8. We're going to use distributive property, and it's greater than 2x minus 6. Right? I'm going to get rid of them where there are fewer, so I'm going to get rid of the 2x. And I get 2x plus 8 is greater than negative 6. Two-step equation, subtract 8 from both sides. 2x is greater than negative 14. Negative 6 minus 8 is negative 14. Divide by 2, and x is greater than negative 7. So now we're going to solve and graph this inequality. So we're going to subtract 8 from both sides. 2/3 x is greater than 6. How do we get rid of a fraction coefficient? We multiply both sides by the reciprocal. Right? These 2's cancel, these 3's cancel. You get x is greater. This 2 cancels with this 6. And we get x is greater than 9. Then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Open circle on 9, and all the numbers that will make this true are greater than or equal, no, are greater than 9, which includes 9.0001. So here we're going to subtract 6 from both sides. This is a good review of equations. And then we're going to divide both sides by, oops, that's a 26. Divide both sides, no, it's a 20. Okay, sorry. Divide both sides by 5. 4 is greater than x. So what did I say yesterday? So this is where I tend to switch this around. If you switch it around, you got to switch it all around. And I switch it around to x is less than 4 if 4 is greater than x. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Open circle, and we need all the numbers less than 4. Find x at the total cost of 1 pen. Well, 1 pen is 3x. 2 pencils, that's 2 x's. And 4 erasers, that's 4 times 50 cents, right? As no more than $8. That means less than or equal to 8. No more is less than or equal to. It's not more. We're going to combine our like terms. 4 times 50 cents is $2. We have a two-step equation. 5x is less than or equal to 6. Divide both sides by 5. X is less than or equal to 6/5, which I'd be totally happy with. But we're doing the cost of this pencil here, right? X is the cost of the pencil, so let's make that money, right? So 6/5 is 1 1/5, which is 1 and how many hundredths? Well, times 20. And it's 20 hundredths, so is x is less than or equal to $1.20, right? The pencil can't be more than $1.20. That's its maximum price, no more than $1.20. So if David's scores on his first two tests were 73, 87, 90, and 90, if he wants to have a score no less than 90%, so he wants to be, right? He wants to be greater than or equal to 90. We're not going to put the percent in the class. We're going to write and solve an inequality to determine what he needs to score in his next test, right? He wants to get the lowest A possible, apparently, at least that, right? No less than. So he had 73, he had 87, plus 90, plus 90, plus one more test. And we're finding the average of all 5 tests. So that's the inequality we need to write. So how do we solve that? Well, we're going to multiply both sides by 5, so we can cancel the 5. And we have, let's add up 73 plus 87 is 160. 90 plus 90 is 180. 6 plus 8 is 14, so I'm getting x plus 340, and I've multiplied both sides by 5. It's greater than 450. All right, so we're going to subtract 340 from both sides, and x is greater than or equal to 110. So he needs to 110% on the next test if he wants to have an average of 90. Yeah, because look, he's had these tests, especially the 73, that really hurt his grade. And this is what happens. You get to the last test of the year, and sometimes your grade is just too low. There's not enough points left for you to get it up to an A. And that's what happened to David here. Unless there's 10% bonus on this test, he's not getting an A in this class no matter what. Okay, so if you multiply or divide both sides of an inequality by negative, you have to flip this symbol around, and let's show you why that is. So it says multiply both sides by 3 and see if the statement is true. First of all, is 5 greater than true? Yes, that's true, right? And so if you multiply both sides by positive 3, you get 15 is greater than 6. That's still true, right? Now let's try to multiply both sides by negative 3 and see what happens. All right, we're going to multiply both sides by, and here you get negative 15 is greater than negative 6. Is negative 15 greater than negative 6? No, it's not true. And that's what happens when you multiply an inequality by a negative. So you end up having to flip the symbol whenever you do that. Whenever you multiply or divide both sides by a negative, you're flipping the symbol, not adding or subtracting. That has nothing to do with it. Okay, so let's see if this in action here. So we're going to add 4 to both sides, and we get negative 2x is less than 10. But now we have to divide both sides by negative 2, and that's the problem, right? Because that's the only way we can cancel out the negative 2 multiplying x. And 10 divided by negative 2 is negative 5. But the numbers that will make this original inequality true are greater than negative 5. We have to flip the symbol. Okay, let's see that again. So we're going to add 7 to both sides. X divided by negative 4 is greater than or equal to 2. So far, so good. But now we're going to multiply both sides by negative 4. And to get rid of that negative 4 that's dividing x, and we have x, 2 times negative 4 is negative 8, and we have to flip the symbol, and the correct answer is x is less than or equal to negative 8. So how can we tell if we're going to have to do this flipping of the symbol before we even start? So let's look at those two problems. One of them, we're going to have to flip the symbol, and one we're not going to have to flip the symbol. How can we tell? Let's see the one on the left. We're going to subtract 8 from both sides, and we have negative 4x is greater than 12. Over here, we're going to subtract 8 from both sides. We have positive 4x is greater than negative 28. One on the left, we're going to have to divide both sides by negative 4. And we're going to get x is less than, because we're flipping the symbol, than -3. Here, there's no flipping. Just divide both sides by +4, and we have x is greater than -7. So how can you tell ahead of time? Well, it's the coefficient of x that causes this. Now, if there's a number dividing x, the same thing. Okay. If that coefficient there is negative, you're going to end up flipping the symbol in your two-step equation. Okay, a candle starts at 18 inches tall and burns 2 inches per hour. Now, candles burn down, so we're going to go down 2 per hour, and we're starting at 18. It says, write and solve an inequality to find the minimum number of hours it was burning if it is currently less than 4 inches tall. That's the inequality. We want a less than symbol. So we're going to subtract 18 from both sides. We get -2h is less than 4 minus 18 is -14. We're going to have to divide both sides by a -2. And now we're going to have to flip the symbol. H is greater than 7 hours. Let's see if that makes sense. Find the minimum number of hours it was burning if it's currently less than 4 inches tall, right? If it's down here at 4 inches, right, it has to be burning more than 7 hours. That's how it works. It has to be flipped. So let's practice. Let's clear our decimals here. So I'm going to move them twice here. That means I'm moving it twice here, and twice there. So we get 7x minus 60 minus 2x is greater than 140. I've cleared my decimals. 7x minus 2x is 5x. 5x minus 60 is greater than 140. Add 60 to both sides. 5x is greater than 200. Divide both sides by 5. And x is greater than 40. So here I'm not going to clear this fraction because it's just a fraction coefficient. I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. And I have -1/4 x is less than -14 minus 5, -19, yes? Okay, now I'm going to have to multiply both sides by a -4 to cancel. I'm multiplying by a negative. That means I'm flipping the symbol. So it's x is greater than, I have to do 19 times 4. 4 times 9 is 36. And so x is greater than 76 to make that true. Two negatives make a positive. Apples cost $11 for 5 pounds at the local price club, which has a membership fee of $50. Calculate the unit rate. So it's $11 for 5 pounds. I might just leave it that way. It is 2 1/5. It is 2.2, right, which is 2 2/10. But I'm going to leave it 11/5, and I'm going to make 11/5 my coefficient of p. And there was a membership fee, so that's our constant. Solve an inequality to determine how many pounds of apples we can buy for at most no more than $94. That's the inequality. So we're going to subtract 50 from both sides. And see, 11/5 p is, you don't want to ever put 2 1/5 in there. You could put 2.2. It's just going to make your work harder, though, so don't do that. Do this. Don't be afraid of fractions. Fractions are friends. And then we're going to multiply both sides by 5/11. Oh, look at that. And Mr. Ben put some nice canceling in there of 44 and 11. So P is less than or equal to 4 times 5, 20. And these P stood for pounds. I'm going to use LBS. So if they had $94, they can't buy any more than 24 pounds. All right, thanks. Good luck on the homework.